Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. We know not every dad can stay up to date on the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we're here to do it for you. And remember, guys, that this show is kid-friendly, right? So no earmuffs are needed.
Some are saying.
Now on with the show, I'm one of your hosts. Wabba plays alongside the card connoisseur, Court.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
That. I like that.
It's something to do. I like collecting cards, and being able to write it off as tax purposes is fantastic.
Let's go. It's my favorite part.
As long as I open it on stream, right?
Yeah, as long as you create content on it, it is.
No, I talked to my accountant. We're good. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
I spoke about it. Like you're not getting. I know. I want people to understand this. You're not getting your money back. That's not how it works. It just works that what I make in a year, I end up having sometimes owe the government money, but because I'm spending this money and I'm writing, and now I don't owe them money. They actually end up they could in fact owe me money based on buying these cards.
Some are saying.
Taxable
income going down, baby. Going down,
stonks.
Baby.
That other voice you hear is the pick me, Pez.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How we doing today?
A lot of alliteration going on. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's, you know what? We're firing on all cylinders. The creative juices are flowing.
I hate that. I don't know why. It makes me it makes me uncomfortable. And I don't it shouldn't.
Whoever came up with the term creative juices is a disgusting lad or lass. And they know it.
Exactly. They know what they were doing.
100%.
So what have you guys been playing? Court, you said you were playing a little gamer-rooney.
I have been playing the Battle of Brooklyn DLC for the Division 2.
Shout out Sony Canada.
Yes. No, Sony Canada.
Sorry.
No, nothing to do with PlayStation at all. Shout out Ubisoft Canada.
Shout out Ubisoft
partners.
Canada.
Creators Group. It is fan-diddly-o-tastic. I'm having a great time. Spoiler alert, like I really like the Division 2. It's probably my favorite game. I think it is. Over 400 hours into this game. I played it a lot. So I was showing Pez a screenshot. It is, do you remember, Wabba, the Division 1 first trailer we ever got to see at E3?
Was that the story with like the cash flying around?
Well, yeah, but they also showed like this. You were at this police station, and they did show this way, like you look at the map and you look from above. That they didn't add, but the setting, you're in Brooklyn, New York, and you're at this police station. You're doing all these things, and this map, we never got to see this map. Well, guess what? That is the map for the new DLC.
I love
Not only that, there's this refinery that you get to go to, which is ridiculously hard for no reason. It is very hard. They've added this purple fire that will actually burn at all times, will always be constantly burning you, that you can't get off until you finish the level. So if you get hit with it, like, it sucks to be you. I can't just go through and mop through everybody. It's not working. I think I'm gonna have to like level myself up before I do this one mission that I'm doing right now, because I'm just getting destroyed. The season pass is back. It's great to be back in the Division. The cover is just as good as I thought. I remembered it from like last time I think I played it was like 5 months ago. I was playing it for a bit and then I stopped playing it. I am right back into it. Like, I'm really enjoying my time with it. I think they did a phenomenal job for the people that like the Division. I think they did a phenomenal job with this DLC. The story is great. I would suggest this. If you haven't played the Division and you own Division 2, I'm pretty sure, one, it's free on PlayStation Plus and it's also free on Xbox Game Pass. You could probably go out and buy a DLC pack for like $50. And you would get this DLC. You get all the DLC. You would have so much content to play in this game.
Much content.
And it would let you do all the manhunt missions that you haven't done. You'd be able to pick up all the guns, do all the different things. There's new trophies. They've done a masterful job of this so far. I'm really enjoying my time with it.
I love that they basically are calling back something from like the first trailer. And I wonder, was this in their plans, or were they thinking like, oh, what should we do? And going back to the first trailer and they realized like this. Either way, I think it's really creative.
Oh, I think it was.
You think they've had this on the roadmap?
Definitely.
Yeah, I think this was definitely purposeful because if you remember that E3 trailer, everybody that was the oh my god, you lied to us, Ubisoft. That's not in the game. We got nothing. Well, now it's all in the game.
I love that.
Everything
I
from
love
that
that.
E3
Great
trailer
callback.
has come through. Yeah, it's very good. It was very smart. Well done, Ubisoft. I am thoroughly enjoying it. I'll say this: Ubisoft usually does very well with DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Like I'm looking forward to the Star Wars DLC that's coming,
Yep.
and I'm looking for the Assassin's Creed DLC when it eventually comes. But they do masterful jobs with the DLC because the other DLC that we've had before, where we went to New York as well. I know I did it with Pez. It was great.
Yep.
And it was hard at first. Remember, Pez? We were
Yeah.
having a hard
Yeah,
time
we
with
were
it. Now I
getting
can I
stomped.
can run through that DLC and just destroy everything. But yeah, this is hard. So it's posing me a challenge, which is nice.
Yeah, which is
I'm playing on hard and I'm getting destroyed.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what you want. That's what you want from a grind, right? You want
Yes.
like to get kicked around a little bit, so then you feel that sense of, as EA would call it, pride and accomplishment.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Stewing in his own juices right now.
God, Paz, what have you been playing?
Hey, before we get into games, can I give you guys
Okay.
a movie recommendation?
Oh, what did you see? I saw a movie as well.
I saw Lilo and Stitch last night.
So on Saturday, so my wife went to her friend's house for the weekend. So Saturday was a daddy-daughter day. And part of our daddy-daughter day was we went and saw the Thunderbolts. I had no expectations for this movie. I feel like Marvel's movies lately have been pretty awful. This movie, surprisingly very good. Not a movie for young children. Deals in incredibly heavy themes like depression and loneliness and not feeling good enough. And it was a mature feeling superhero movie for once. And then obviously they wrapped in the power of friendship. And but ultimately, you know, it dealt with some really real and really heavy themes. And I think it did a great job without needing all the glitzy glam of like Iron Man and Captain America. And it was really good and really put together. And my hope is they put out a director's cut because you can tell that there is a ton of stuff left on the floor. But for anyone that's looking to go see a good Marvel movie that, you know, isn't now 10 something years old, go check out Thunderbolts. I had a great time. Kenzie and I have talked about it even days after we've seen it because we enjoyed it that much.
Question.
Yes.
You went and saw this, but you also you could have saw Mission Impossible. Is it because you know you've done all the Marvel movies with Kenzie and that's what you chose instead of doing Mission Impossible?
Because it's her choice on Daddy-Daughter Day.
If it was your choice, what were you going to see?
With her, probably this. I wouldn't take her to see Mission Impossible. She doesn't care. I actually gave her the choice of, do you want to see Thunderbolts or do you want to see Lilo and Stitch? Because she loves Lilo and Stitch, but she was like, Dad, I know there's going to be way too many little kids there. I don't want to listen to them, you know.
Dude, Lilo and Stitch, straight up, like,
fair enough.
Let's decide to make kids cry throughout a whole movie.
It's not a kids movie.
It
No,
is
it definitely
not a
is.
kids movie. It is mature themes kids movie hard.
Yeah,
especially the yeah, it was fantastic. I literally saw it last night. Especially the animation version of it, you can get away with the mature themes and it just doesn't feel like it.
Right.
But you can feel like the girl that plays Lilo, she's a phenomenal actress. She did
She's
a
so
phenomenal,
good.
so good. And then the girl that plays her sister she's the girl from The Last of Us. So okay, that was
Oh, I didn't
different.
realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize
actress.
that. I just did not realize that.
Yeah, but it very good. Like I thought it was very good. Lilo and Stitch was very good. I just thought like near the end, I was just like, can something nice happen?
No.
Can just something
the
nice
credits.
happen to these people? Like,
The
oh my
credits, they were like,
goodness
"We'll just end
gracious!
it."
It was so like heart wrenching the whole thing.
Yeah. So me and my daughter, big Lilo Stitch. We just turned it on like at some point, and like she's got Stitch everything. You know, she had a Stitch birthday party 2 years ago. Like literally, she and I went to Chili's before. Shout out Chili's, and the movie wearing Stitch.
Shout out
Not Nat.
I just want to not destroy you right now. You know, Chili's is like probably gonna go away.
No, not Chili's. Their Mexican restaurant is. We went to the one, and apparently they found out that day.
No, and what I need you to understand is they are not doing well. And so I, as someone who's in the industry and I have to do like research on all these companies. So I'll give you a perfect example. Applebee's is going to be pulling out of Canada. And
Well,
so
Applebee's
is
stinks.
Chili's. Okay. And so is Chili's because Chili's is closing stores.
Uh-oh.
They wouldn't do that to me.
The 3 for $20 about to be in the
3
trash.
for me. 3 for me.
Trash. There's one Chili's globally that makes a profit, and it's the one in Wabba's neighborhood.
It's because of me, because I just sit there and I just say, get me another appetizer.
Another, and they smash the coffee.
Keep it
cup on the
coming.
floor.
So we went there in Stitch jammies, like Stitch onesies. Me and my daughter. My wife was dressed regular. She was dressed regularly, and so we went on Thursday because we have a theater that shows movies the day before. That's how I would be able to see them. Basically, all my Marvel movies were seen the day prior, and it was great. There were a lot of. It was a mixed group, so there were some kids there. There were some adults, and what I loved is everybody had something Stitch on. I'm there sitting in a Stitch onesie. She got a kid's popcorn kit that had Stitch ears. People had like the blankets. Everyone's coming in with like the Stitch shaped, I love it. I know some people don't. They don't understand it, and that's fine. But like, I just think it's cool that like people resonate with things. I don't care what it is, and I think this is it. I loved the movie. I know people had a lot of feedback about the story and how certain characters were changed or portrayed, and like the certain whatever. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, we have the original. I think that's good. I think when you do something live action, there are a lot of limitations. I think Stitch looked exactly great, and I think a lot of the resources went there, which I think is appropriate. And
Best Disney movie in a while.
I thought it was really well cast, and the part haters are gonna hate it. This movie made a butt ton of money, so guess what? They're gonna keep in like a weekend.
Who's hating on it?
There's a lot of people who don't like the story and the outcome.
They don't
and
like,
stuff like that.
Disney live action movies. Like,
I thought they did a phenomenal job. Like,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, like I said, that girl that played Lilo, unbelievable.
I thought the casting was I thought was great. I thought everything was. I don't know. I just thought it's good. It's nice. It's nice to have a good Disney movie after I think several challenging ones, or maybe ones I haven't seen.
Wow, so we all
I
saw a good Disney movie this weekend.
Yeah, look at us. Look at
Big
us.
claps, Disney.
You love to see it. You love to see it.
Not an ad hashtag. Pez, thank you very much for reminding.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, when I can talk about a good movie, I'm down for it, because I feel like there aren't many good movies being churned out in Hollywood, because it's just all either bad remakes or just slop that no one cares about. So it was good to sit in a movie theater for like 2 hours and actually enjoy myself.
Oh, I also broke my toe.
Oh,
which one?
How'd you do that?
Yeah, my pinky. I turned the lights off and I walked up the stairs and I kicked my baseboard.
That sounds totally inconvenient.
Yeah, I'm really annoyed with it.
Nailed
I was supposed to do a 5K run in 2 weeks and I can't do it.
Dude, that's such a good excuse though. Dude, you're so smart.
Yeah, coming from you, I understand.
You're like, oh man, I'm sorry, I can't run 5K. I broke my toe.
I straight up did.
It's very.
That's really annoying.
Like wrap to anything, or just letting it?
No, they want me to put a boot on. I'm not going to do it.
No, he's a Canadian. Like, he played hockey at.
Well, what's the point? It's my pinky toe.
Right. It's not like they can do anything for a broken toe.
No.
Sorry to hear about your toe.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, we were like, hey, what would happen? I'm like, oh yeah, I broke my toe.
Yeah, I broke a bone.
My condolences.
A non-displaced fracture.
Yeesh.
Court's out with a lower body injury day to day.
There you go, LBI.
Yeah,
dude. You and Rupe Hintz, same
dude
ailment.
Hyman out for the year.
Whoa, rough, but I think they'll still beat Dallas.
Yeah.
All right, back to games. I'm sorry, I sidetracked us into film.
No, this was good. That's what
Wabba and I played a little game today called Pick Me on dual stream. You can catch the VOD here on youtube.com/3dads on a console, and Wabba streamed on his Twitch channel. And I had a blast. It was a lot of fun. For those that are unaware, it is a PvP speed dating game where you and a friend have to try to woo the AI. And we had a really good time. And what I enjoyed was towards the end, we tried to break the AI a little bit to see what it would come up with. And not for nothing, it kept pace with us. And what I really enjoyed about how they use AI in this is we were talking to some woman that is like a rocker, and I talked about playing the bass, and then so all my questions were littered with like bass bass references and like funky jazz and stuff like that. So it was really good. It was really good.
It's really like it's not predictable, which I think is good. Like it's not like, okay, Pez is gonna answer, I'm gonna answer. There's gonna be a mini game where we try to like, pick first. Like there were some games where I think there was like one mini game and one where there was like five. It kind of keeps you on your toes. And then we discovered this thing where like you can heckle the other person by typing something, and like it's kind of distracting. But like I would give like a bad answer, and Pez would just like
distracting as that fan,
reiterate
the dehumidifier that's on.
It's dehumidifying my life. I need it. My life needs to be dehumidified.
Well, you used the word distracting, so I decided to just chime in on that one. Like last time you told me you couldn't turn it off because you'd have to get up and turn it off. This time you just could have just not had it on.
No, I would have. Yeah, I would have to get up. I'm not going to do
that. The humidity.
Don't pick me to turn it off.
Ooh. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's free on Steam. Here's my one gripe with it. It's a free game, but the monetization a tad aggressive. Thankfully we, shout out to Pick Me because they hooked Wabba and I up with some currency for the creators. There is some aggressive microtransactions, so just be aware. Other than that though, indie studio, free to play, there's going to be some sort of microtransaction. So if that doesn't bother you, then go for it. Have a great time because truthfully, I played it for an hour with Wabba, and then I played a game on their Twitch stream, and we had every time the conversation is different, and it's really fun.
Yeah, you think you can play about like 2 games a day for free, and I think that's fine. Like, I think if that's what you like, if you want to get a few quick games in before like a stream, perfect. There's a lot of good customization options, and my favorite part is they put a 3 Dads beanie in and a Wabba Plays t-shirt. So my logo is in the game, which is not in the game. It's there's a code that I was given to put it on mine, but we also have a code that we're going to give out somehow. So if you download it in our Discord, find us. Pez will put it in the description. If you download Pick Me, prove it, and then one of you will win a code of each. I don't know how we're going to decide it, but we're going to figure it out.
We're going to put a pool cue in the middle, and whoever walks out wins.
Good Joker.
By the way, I'm writing noise reduce the dehumidifier because I can hear it now in the back.
Dude,
fine, I'll turn it off.
It's been months.
No, don't leave now. I'm just gonna do it anyway. Okay, fine. What's up, everybody? Pezzy here with Court. Wabba has left us to go do something he should have did a half hour ago.
You can hear it now, though, right? Like,
yeah, if I can hear it, it's loud because I am deaf.
I cleaned a blanket that's sitting over there. It needs to be dehumidified.
But hold on, why is it there always something?
It's an hour. It's just an hour. You'll be fine. I shut my fan off and I am sweating like I'm standing in the
watched him
bottom of a volcano.
Shut that fan off.
I'm on a 3rd floor. The window's closed. The fan's off. Already perspiring. You don't hear me talking about being dehumidified, do you? No, I'm very humidified.
You're changing the trajectory of this, the drying of this blanket. So I'll report in if there's any changes.
I'm quite humidified. Listen, don't make me leave you. Don't make me leave you bad feedback on eBay. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Honestly, if you did that, I would fight you in real life. I would lose. So yeah, shout out Pick Me, and they've been supporting their creators. So more on to come on that.
Yeah, they put one thing. They made our ugly faces that might go in the game. So that's pretty crazy.
That's very fun. Another game that I just want to give a shout out to before we get to some of the topics is Outright announced a game today.
Yes, they did.
Called NBA Bounce, which is a licensed game. It looks like there are some mascots. I do not see any NBA players. It looks like you might be able to create your own, but they're getting into the sports world. And so this looks like hit. So my next thing is if this, hopefully this does well, because I think this is going to be a very approachable game for kids who like sports. Also, Celtics in the trailer. Are we going to get this in hockey flavor?
I would love
in the future.
I would love it.
Sick.
I would love it. There needs to be more hockey games in the video game space. I've already talked about how I want like a Mario hockey game because I think that'd be really fun in the sense of like a Mario tennis or Mario soccer. But
You could do fat guy, skinny guy.
oh, like ice hockey, dude. Oh, mine
Yeah,
would be
you
all
could
fat
because like
guys.
Bowser, Luigi, you have all the characters. They're right there. You could just do ice hockey, like literally do
Yeah.
ice hockey.
That's it. And you throw in a couple crappy power ups, and it's just like Mario Strikers, dude,
Yeah.
but on ice. Like it'd be perfect.
Yoshi's a goalie, obviously.
Shy Guys, the
Referee.
Bruins in the
No.
Bruins in the playoffs.
The Bruins would
I was
have to
gonna say
make the
referees,
playoffs.
blind, right? Come on now.
No, Boo won't move when the opposition is there. So, you know, make your metaphor from
You're
that.
making some sort of bad Bruins joke, but the Bruins need to make the playoffs first, which they did not.
I forget what that is. Like,
I mean, you could
speaking
just
of
go
which-
watch it. It's
Carolina
on.
just scored.
Goal Carolina
Did they? 1-0.
on
Yeah.
a breakaway.
Carolina finding some juice.
That's right. So the playoffs.
You think Carolina's gonna win 4 games in a
No.
row?
No,
That's
No
some
shot.
juice.
no shot.
So I'm trying to think of. So some say the NHL playoffs are a marathon, and there's also a game with some news out today called Marathon.
Well, it's not
there is-
news out today.
Well,
There's a
news out
news
recently.
News.
Yeah, anyway, this is the week of cancellations and delays and issues.
Seriously. Okay, I'm gonna. Here's what I'm gonna go about a marathon. So I talked about it on PlayStation Generation before even the news came out. So they got caught for the second time now stealing other people's artwork. The play test, I played it. I thought it was bungus. Did not like the game at all. But I am not an extraction shooter type person. Even though I loved Rainbow Six Vegas too, like I love
Yeah.
that game. But for some reason, Marathon did not feel like that game, and it. I don't know, man. The gunplay was great, but everything else about it, it was just like I don't know. I don't need to play this game. I don't think they got very good reviews on the game for the people that played it. I think the game is dead.
Yeah.
I think, in fact, Bungie is in a lot of trouble. And oddly enough, I know PlayStation doesn't own them, but they're like huge investors into them, I think is what we could call it. Like they back them because they don't own them.
Right.
If I'm Xbox, I go in there, buy them, and ask them to make another Halo game.
Ooh,
Because
I like that.
since Sony has taken over Bungie on helping with decision making, it's been one terrible decision after another.
Yeah.
And Marathon should never have even existed, and they should have just made another Destiny. And just like for God's sakes, developers, like I don't understand why everybody keeps trying to reinvent the wheel to try and get the new Fortnite and try and get this. Guess what? Just make the thing everybody wants. If I was Bungie, I would say, if I'm PlayStation, I would go to Bungie right now and say, you got one more chance, and here's what we want you to do. We want you to make Destiny 1 again from the ground up. Make it again. Everybody in the world who's a Destiny fan, including myself, Destiny 1 was fantastic. We would all go in there. We would get to play it again, relive the story, have a great time, start from scratch. You want to change a couple things, change a couple things. You know, people are going to get mad about it. That just caused controversy, and all controversy does. And that kind of thing makes more people play the game because they want to see the change.
Right.
But that's what I don't think they have much left in the tank, if you ask me, over at Bungie. I think Marathon is dead, and they're in trouble.
No, I mean, Sony's not doing any paid advertising for it.
No,
anymore.
they've delayed the game. It ain't coming out.
Right, but there's no even when it eventually does, there's going to be no advertising campaign for it. They're not going to market it. Also, good screw Bungie, because they are absolute pricks, and I'm not saying they deserve it, but they definitely don't undeserve it. Because
Jesus Christ.
Because here's the thing.
They deserve it, but they definitely don't.
They definitely don't undeserve it, because here's the thing. What is Bungie known for? Number one, stealing art. Number two, taking your paid DLC content and vaulting it so you can't play it ever again. And then reintroducing it 4 years later and being like, look at all this great stuff. It's another $30. So I shed no tears for Bungie. They made their own bed, and now they have to lay in it. And I will be throwing the flowers on the grave, laughing the whole way to the bank. Baby.
I think the whole stolen art thing, that's when I first heard of it, like the issues. I mean, granted, I think maybe the first thing I didn't hear was people, happy when they were playing like the beta or whatever. But yeah, like stealing art from someone where it was like, it's so like inconsequential. You know what I mean? Like in the grand scheme of things, like it's like this weird like background art. Like it has nothing to. It's like not impacting the game. It's not like but it just shows like laziness
Yeah, dude, they shouldn't. Like, it was just
That's
so
it.
stupid.
and like
It's
this
stupid.
weird like entitlement. I think I
Yes.
would say when you steal someone's online art to put it in the background of a game, like you can make that yourself. Like if that's your job, or frankly, have AI do it. Like it's not like the resources are there, but to go into someone's like portfolio and be like, I'm gonna take this. Yeah, no one will probably notice. And then for like it to blow up on Twitter where the guy's like, I don't want to get paid. I just want like you to ask my permission.
And the crazy thing is, like, not only did they take this person's art, they also took her, because I believe it's a female. They took her main logo and put it in.
Don't
like,
tell me they took our watermark. Oh my gosh.
yeah, so they took like her logo and then put it in the background of these things, and she's like, "There's my logo right there. Like it's on my Twitter, it's on my whatever." They I would use the term they brazen.
I was about to say brazen entitlement.
They did not give two Rudy poos about anything. They did not care if they got caught. And
Fruity poos.
Yep.
I love that.
Thank you. They did not care if they got caught. They just said, "We're Bungie. What are you going to do about it?" And then the internet caused a big firestorm, and good for them. Screw you, Bungie.
How
Fair.
can you like think about it? Bungie's hated more than Ubisoft?
I mean, Bungie had some really good
I
really
love
good
Ubisoft.
games.
I don't care. Like, their games are great.
Bungie had some really
Oh,
good
I do
games,
too.
and then Destiny 1 was really good, and then they put out Destiny 2, wasn't terrible, but then they started making these stupid decisions all about the vaulting DLC, and our systems can't do it, and the games are too big, and blah blah blah. And now they pivot to Marathon, and they steal art just like they did with Destiny, and suddenly here we are. So
Yeah.
screw them. They don't care about DLC. They don't care about the player. All they're gonna do is update the cash shop and make sure that you can get your engrams and your bright dust and all that garbage, while paying $40 per DLC.
And Cord, I thought you had a good point where you're like, what have they done since they've been working with PlayStation?
It's been bad. Like
Nothing.
I'm actually shocked. I am a PlayStation. That's where I play my games. And for the past couple of years, they just stink. Bad
Yeah.
decision after bad decision after
Mhm.
bad decision after bad decision.
Sony
the
bought
tr-
High. I know they don't own them, but like in that relationship, they got in at the peak. And
But it's not
they
even just at Bungie. They're doing a lot of bad decisions at Sony.
yeah, they're stuck holding the bag now on something where it's like, are we in too deep? Like, where's the benefit? Like, where's the
Concord.
return?
Well, it's just every single online only game that Sony has backed for the past couple years, because that's where they put everything, has been terrible. Concord, terrible.
Outside of one.
Hold on. Helldivers 2 was great until they lost their player base. By the way, that DLC for Helldivers 2, supposedly everybody's freaking loving it.
Yeah, I hear
Loving
it's really,
it.
really good.
But
Invasion.
they lost their player base because they decided to make a stupid call on the PC, and that put bad juju on the game, and everybody stopped playing it. And then, yeah, Helldivers 2 was great, but Concord bad. They canceled The Last of Us multiplayer, and when we wanted a multiplayer, we didn't want this online only thing. We just wanted the multiplayer. We didn't get it. They got that other heist game that's coming out that looks terrible as well. It's like, oh, for God's sakes.
Oh,
They just closed down Jade Raymond's studio. They're like, it's done. They're not making any game. Sony Ben was making a game that we don't know what it was. They canceled that. It's supposed to be an online game. It's gone. We still are getting this Horizon online game that none of us are going to want. It's just like, what the heck, man?
are you sitting there and telling me that Foam Stars wasn't going to take the world by storm?
Oh, well, that's
That's
Konami.
Square
Wasn't
Enix.
that
That's Square
That's
Enix.
Square Enix.
Oh,
That was
was
terrible.
it? I thought it was
Yeah.
Sony. It
No,
was
it
on
was
a
free
state
on
of play,
PlayStation
right?
Plus.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
free on PlayStation Plus at launch. And you know what's crazy? I didn't even play it.
Yeah, and you love that. You love that
I
kind of stuff.
I was excited for it, and then just as soon as it came out, just okay.
It's just over and over again, and it's interesting because for me, I don't play those type of games, and those games to me, I don't hear people talking about them anymore. Like, yeah, the kids are playing Fortnite, but they're gonna move on. Like my daughter plays Roblox. That game is pedestrian at best.
Yep. My kid still plays it. She's almost
I
14.
don't get it.
Plays it all the time.
I joke to my daughter like you could run that on a Commodore 64. It doesn't like
Yeah.
this game stinks.
Yep. And they love it.
Yeah,
And they love it.
kids got no taste.
No, kids these days, no taste. No taste. Absolutely none.
So I know we're talking about some canceled games. One big one actually was announced today, and that was the Black Panther game that was going to be published by EA. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Well,
As you go for it, because they closed the studio too.
well, yeah, they didn't just cancel the game; they closed the studio, and it. This was part of like a 3-game contract for Iron Man. It was Black Panther and one that's unreleased. But apparently, Iron Man is still going through, and this contract is still like being upheld. So I don't know if they're going to add in a 3rd game or if it's just we're going to do 2 and that's it. But yeah, EA Entertainment, because for those that don't know, EA has their division split. It's EA Entertainment and then EA Sports. The sports part of it isn't being touched by all these layoffs, but the studio got shut down. The game got canceled. They fired what was it, like 800 people? No, it was something like that, right? Some like crazy number.
Yeah, big number.
And this is like their 3rd layoff this year. It is insane. And their CEO of EA Entertainment comes out and is just like, we're gonna focus on a few franchises, not a bunch. And it's like, dude, you are
again
crazy.
About time. Like, unfortunately, these studios are finally 10 years ago they all went, okay, this is what we got to do. We got to go out there and we got to find the next thing, instead of just be like, hey, people really like our games, they just keep buying them. Like, I really like the new Dragon Age, but I just think unfortunately it was too little too late.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your player base is still there, but we're not all still there. Like, that game is so old, right? It was a PlayStation 3 game.
Right.
Like, it just, Inquisition was great, and then we don't get a game for forever. It's not a GTA where you can just release it and it's a phenomenon. Like, that game's just going to release and everybody's going to play it. But unfortunately, all these studios were like, and I know everybody's like, oh, we want new games, but guess what? You don't, because the money says totally different. Everybody's like, we don't want a new Assassin's Creed. We don't want a new Assassin's Creed. Take forever. Guess what? Every time Ubisoft releases an Assassin's Creed, the thing prints money. All it does is stonks. It just sells. All of it. EA, they're like, hey, Jedi Survivor is amazing. All we can do is sell money with this. You know what we should do? Let's not make another one of those. Let's do this.
Mhm.
No, go back. EA, believe it or not, I can't believe you're going to say this. You suck at making a multiplayer Star Wars game, and Battlefield sucks too because you ruined it, because you made it multiplayer only when you used to have great stuff like Bad Company and all these great stories. You could have made Battlefield great. Nope, you made it suck. You made the characters not matter, and you just made it all about like the different areas of the war you're playing in. That's not what you want. If you're playing a single player game, you want to follow a character along and grow with that character and go with it. But no,
True.
EA just decided that's not what we're going to do. And guess what? No one buys that crap. When they do make a game with a good story and they have a good single player, people buy it. Jedi, both those games, great. But Battlefield sucked.
Horrible. And then it takes
People are playing it now.
Right. It takes 4 or 5 years for it to become decent.
Good, because
at
they're
best.
all the microtransaction garbage is out of the game now, and people are like, oh, I want to play it now.
Right.
Man, no duh.
And I think it's good that companies are going to just focus on a few of their franchises. Of course, that then opens it up that things like, let's say, for example, Splinter Cell. We'll never get a Splinter Cell game ever again if they're just going to, if the Tom Clancy games are just going to focus on Rainbow Six and The Division and whatever, Ghostlands or Wildlands or what have you. But I think that's okay, because we've seen that studios or publishers are all about quantity and not quality. And it's
Yep.
clear that people don't want quantity anymore. They just want quality. As video games prices are going up, people don't want $60 shovelware, right? They want, if they have to pay 60, 70, 80, 100 plus in Canada, like they want a good experience that they can really wrap their hands around and really get invested in. And they just don't want some, $50, 60, 70, $80 game where then you have to pump out microtransaction after microtransaction to then actually play the game. So
Oh yeah, that's like I'm
it's
having
good
my
and
issue
bad.
right now not buying Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So for me, Indiana Jones right now for the days of play in the PlayStation, I want to play this game. I am an Indiana Jones fan. But I'm playing the Division 2 right now, and as I said to Pez, I got a Switch 2 coming next week. I can't wait to play that darn thing with my kiddo. That's gonna be fantastic. I'm thinking I might buy Donkey Kong because that game looks
Ooh, let's go. Smash and
it
grab.
looks good. It does look
Love
good.
that. It does look good.
So
Diddy Kong getting teeth.
yeah, so I'm very hesitant right now because I want to play Indiana Jones, and it's fine. It's only been out for what 2 months, and the thing's
Yeah.
already 20% off. But this may sound crazy. I know that it's a 10-hour game. Well, I don't want to pay $80 for 10 hours. I don't
Nope.
think that's worth it.
Nope.
I know, and this sounds terrible, I can wait a couple more months and around, the end of summer, they're going to do that big sale that PlayStation always does.
Yep.
And it's either going to be showing up on PlayStation Plus or I'll probably be able to get it for like $40. And if the
Right.
game's at $40, $50 mark, I'm in. And that's why I said to Pez, I might buy Forza right now because my daughter loves that game. And now it's on PlayStation and I know she'll play it again. And then wait. And then I can get all the DLC at some point when the PlayStation Store has like that huge sale on DLC. I can go out and get that Forza Horizon DLC pack. Right now it's $60, but for a fact it'll be $30 at some point. And then I'll be like, you know what? That's worth it for me now because
Absolutely.
Indiana Jones at that price point right now, even with 20% off, that game's regular $100 here in Canada. 20% off, it's still $70 plus
Mhm.
tax. So then it's still $80.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, is it really that big of a deal? Like,
People,
I know the story's great and I can play it another time. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it, I think is what I'm trying to get at.
a couple weeks ago we talked about the price of video games. I think people are now going to be going to start voting with their wallets, and we'll see games not do as well because people just don't want slop. Like the days of like walking into a GameStop and just being like, "Oh, that game looks cool. I'll pick that up for $50." I think is over because they're just too expensive and they're going to get more expensive. And as you add in your all right, $80 base game, $110 deluxe or digital deluxe, and your $160, $180 collector's edition, it's too much. It's too much.
It's expensive.
Yeah, it's an expensive hobby. It is it becomes a lifestyle because you invest so much money into it.
Well, yeah, and that's the way I look at it. Because like right now, I'm still hopping into MLB's show every now and then. Because there's that new Bichette Dante. There's the new Bichette card for the Blue Jays. I'm like, I kind of want that card.
Ooh, the
But
new Bo Bichette Moonshot.
Oh, Bichette, yeah, that's a nice card. But I'm playing the Division 2, so I'm like, okay, I just finished Days Gone. I'm like, all right, like, and I like Days Gone. I thought it was good. The
I'm
story
so
kind
proud of you.
Deacon sucks. I'm sorry. He's not a good character. He stinks.
But
It's
don't forget,
unfortunate.
you can
Sons of
all
Anarchy was a good show, but if
True.
you watch it now, you're like, ooh, it's not a good show. And I'll say the same about Days Gone. I think it had its time. It's unfortunate. I think the combat is good. I think the motorcycle drive, I think that's very good. I think there is a lot of good pieces. I just think the story itself stinks.
don't forget,
I think it stinks.
you out there, listener, can go get your Deacon John PlayStation Stars digital collectible before they shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can
You can get
I
the
would
thing
say
no
this.
one cares about.
If you didn't play Days Gone, I would say go out and play it. It's a good game. Like I didn't feel like I wasted my time playing that.
Which is great because it seems lately in video games everyone's just like, well, I just wasted 6 hours
And that's
playing
what scares me about Indiana Jones. I look at Forza, I'm like, I could spend $60 on that game and I would get endless amounts of time in that game. That's like 30 hours, 40 hours. Indiana Jones is a 10-hour story.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you ain't getting my money at 10 hours unless it's $50. It's just not going to happen. But I put over 30 hours into Days Gone. It was a good game.
Yeah.
It's just, I think, Pez, you're bang on. I think Nintendo, when they charge this much, well, their games are huge. Their games aren't little. There's a lot to them. There's a lot going on in them, and it's polished, and the game is going to be fine. I just think right now, with so much competition out there and so many good games, $100 for a video game, unless it's Grand Theft Auto or even look at Mafia, the new Mafia coming out. It's a $60 game at release. That's fair.
Yep.
I think that's fair. I think Indiana Jones right now, even with 20% off, is too much money for me in Canada. I think it's too much money because I know I'm going to enjoy that game, but I also know a year from now, I'll still enjoy it when I get it for like $40
Right.
and have a great time with it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I do.
Going to be a good environment for some of the smaller indie developers. I know we're in a very... I think because the price point of some are so again, I think we're very fortunate to be able to try a lot of different games to be able to share that with our folks.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go back and I look at the price and it's like $10. I'm like, that's what a bargain for that kind of experience, or that's what it's gonna be. I think I don't know. I sometimes you'll see the free to play and they'll have the microtransactions if you want to do more, like we saw with Pick Me. Other times it's a small $15-20 buck get in fee, and that's great.
Indiana Jones is $74.79. That's 20% off.
Yeah.
It's regular $93.49. That is not the super deluxe edition. And then Forza Horizon is $103.99, regular $129.99. That's the premium edition. But I can get the standard edition right now for $63.99.
That's fair.
And I think that's fair. That's value, because I know that my daughter would get endless time, and I could play it with her, and I get lots of hours. And I can't believe I'm going to say this, Wabba, because this will lead into what you wanted to talk about. Your Persona games there's value.
Yes, there is.
You're getting a ton of play in that game, right?
100 plus hours for one playthrough.
Yeah, you're
80 hours.
You're getting value for what you're spending. If you want to charge us this amount of money, I'll look it up. How long does it take to finish Indiana Jones?
I mean, I can tell you, it took me 80 hours for Metaphor and 80 hours for Persona. I need to go back and do Persona 3. And I know Claire, Claire Obscura Expedition 33 is a banger right now.
It is a 15-hour game for $100. No,
thank you. And Bobby, you mentioned indie games. I would be interested because I think the console market is untapped for indie games, and I think because to get your game on a console, it costs the patches and the upkeep and all that stuff. So I don't know if there's an indie space on consoles. So it may just be relegated to the PC space. So I actually don't know how much room for growth there is when it comes to indie games, because if you're just stuck in Steam and Epic Game Store, then there's also a million other indie games that,
Well, and if the game is free on PlayStation Plus, sure, I'll play it. But if it's not, that's the other thing. I pay for PlayStation Plus. It's $200 something a year. So for me, I'm okay, do I buy a game or what's in PlayStation Plus right now?
Right. And that's the other thing. So now, especially as a console gamer, you pay for the service, then you have to pay for the game. And it's just it all gets really, really expensive. So no, I'm not going to pay $200+ a year for PlayStation Plus and then shell out another $70 for this game that may or may not be good, even if it's published by EA or Ubisoft or whoever. And then you play it for 2 hours and you go, oh, this game sucks. I just blew $70 for no reason. It's I mean, I can see why I can see why EA is you know what? No, we're actually not going to pay this studio to make this game if our market tests say that no one wants it, or no one's going to play it, or it doesn't have returns that we think, maybe Black Panther doesn't have the returns they think a Captain America or an Iron Man has. So they're not going to pay millions of dollars to get it put together to then fail when it comes to market.
I just don't think superhero games right now. I mean, like there was a Wolverine one announced that we just haven't heard about. I don't recall like even like I liked the Marvel like style games. What was it like X-Men Rise of the whatever? I don't know how well they did. Like
It,
Ultimate Alliance, that was it. Like I don't remember the last superhero game. Maybe Deadpool, and that's like for collector value around the movie release. But like,
it,
what's the last superhero game that did
I
well?
mean, Spider-Man 2, right? Like, it depends on
Oh,
who is
okay,
making...
fair. Okay, sorry.
No, but like, it depends on the pedigree of the studio making these games, right? Insomniac makes a game and you trust that they're going to do a good job doing it. You have a game like The Avengers come out, right? Or Suicide Squad come out, and you're like, oh my God, like these games are terrible. And I just paid full price. And, again, I'm being microtransaction to death, and I'm playing the same levels over and over. And it's not a fun grind like Monster Hunter or the Division. It is a monotonous, horrible grind that I'm gonna stick through because I have a vested interest to play it because I spent money on it.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, I mean, if an unknown studio goes, we're gonna make a Black Panther game, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is great. I can't wait to play this from Billy Bungus Studios Incorporated. Like, it's gonna be amazing. Like, no, it doesn't work like that anymore.
Expedition 33 is not a game for me, but it's only $66.
They just sold $3.3 million in 33 days.
And from my understanding, that's a huge game. One
Yes,
and
it
two,
is.
I've seen videos of it. The game looks phenomenal. I just
Gorgeous.
know I'm not. I have tried.
No.
I'm done trying turn-based. Even Wabba,
It's not for you.
there's no way I can't.
This is so far from something that you would enjoy. You might like the first. You wouldn't even like the first hour. Like and again, I haven't played it. I've watched people play the first bit.
I get it, and I'm
You would
going through the
Be
indie games,
miserable.
and I know a game that everybody's liking is Blueprints. I've downloaded it. I haven't even attempted it. I've
I'm gonna-
downloaded it because it's free on PlayStation Plus right now, and I'm like, all right, but I've become that guy. I've become the gamer where I don't play the game when it drops, and I'm like, I can wait for it to go on sale, or I can hope that it just comes to PlayStation Plus, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, that worked out for me.
Listen,
That's
every
okay.
person
That's okay.
every person should be looking at a game and say, what am I comfortable paying for this game? Because there are a lot, and I say it all the time on the show, where I go, all right, I'm not paying below 50%. MLB The Show, I said, okay, great, I'm not paying anything above 35% off. It was 35% off, bought it that day. Like,
And that
have
worked
your-
out for you because and
Yeah.
you're liking that game.
Yeah, and it's great, and I'm having a great time. I just know that if it's not a couple of core games, I'm not going to pay 70 or 80 bucks for it. It's just not gonna, like Borderlands 4. I'm really excited for. I'm not paying $80 for it. I don't care how many of my friends get it. I'm not paying $80 for it, and it's just not happening. And there are only a few games, Monster Hunter, like between us girls, as I like to say, I'm not even paying $80 for college football because it's just an annualized title at this point. Right. So it's like
I'm 100% buying Ghost of Yote.
So yeah, again, that I will definitely pay $100 for, because that is like, that's
I know what I'm
something that
getting.
the first party studio's working on. It's, it's a great studio. I trust them. That's the other thing. Like, I trust the stuff they've put out before. So, games that have pedigree behind them, it's like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. If Billy Bungus Studios is making Black Panther, right? And EA goes, okay, well, we focus tested it and we say, what games would you rather play? Would you rather play Black Panther? Would you rather play Iron Man? Would you rather play The Incredible Hulk? And they go, well, Black Panther's 3 out of 3. Then they're going to cancel it.
You know what they just added to PlayStation Plus, Pez? Humankind.
Ooh, interesting.
That's
really?
yeah, I think I'm
Oh.
gonna play that. See what just happened?
There you
I'm about
go.
to buy a game, and I'm like, wait a second.
There you go.
So you can also do a game trial of Civ, the new Civ. So I'm gonna download that
Ooh,
because
Civ
that's on
7?
sale right now. And if I like it, I'll buy it. You get like 2 hours to play it. I'm like, okay. But yes, I'm right there with you because I think I'm not saying the Black Panther game was going to be bad. It probably would have been good, but maybe the playtests are not liking it, so it's better for EA to write it off and shut it down because they get the money back. It's unfortunate, but I think the studios have taken too many risks to try and hit the biggest home run they can, and it's not working out.
Not at
I
all.
look at I look at Guardians of the Galaxy by Square Enix as a perfect example of a game that was good, but I think they extended the story too long. There's a point where you actually think the game is over, and then all of a sudden you're like, huh?
You're like,
And it's not.
I
It was
actually,
really weird. It felt disjointed and weird. And I also thought like Avengers would have been way better if it wasn't an online game in any
yeah,
way, shape, or form, and it was only story.
yep, yep.
Because
Same
that
with
game was
Suicide
great.
Squad.
And then it got weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
It just got weird out of
yep.
nowhere.
And it's just
And
like,
look at Rocksteady. Their next game is a Batman game. Shocker, I know.
right, oh, whoa, shock chunky Pikachu face.
Well, do you remember when we played Gotham Knights? We all know that game was supposed to be an online only game because that's what it played like.
Right.
The world was empty. There was no NPCs anywhere. It was really weird.
Yep.
But
Yep.
they changed it at the last minute to make it like this campaign game because it was supposed to be something totally different.
And you knew,
I
and you
guarantee it.
knew, like whenever a game has multiple currencies, you know it's an online game, and that one had like 4 of them. And I'm just like, no, I don't care about my Bat coins and my Red Hood coins and my, Nightwing bucks and all this bungus stuff. Like, come on,
Nightwing bucks.
Yeah, get your Nightwing bucks.
I don't know. I just think with these subscription services, like I said, I look at right now, I'm looking at the new games. So like Humankind's there. I'm like, well, shit, I've always wanted to play that.
Yeah.
Sorry, my apologies.
Uh-oh.
I was doing so well. Dave the Diver's in there.
Oh, what a
Hogwarts
banger.
Legacy is great.
Dave the Diver, such a good
Dead
game.
Island 2,
also
Prince
a
of
great
Persia.
Good game.
Like, there's a lot of games where I'm just like, all right, well, I can just go play that. There's a ton of Weeb games there, by the way, too, Wabba.
I know, dude. One of my favorite games is Space for the Unbound. Go play it. You'll cry. It's fine. We all do.
We all do, and we all, as men, should be able to without being judged.
We're just normal men.
We're just normal men.
So I don't understand that.
There's
Why is
nothing
that
to
a
understand.
thing?
It's just stupid.
Haven't you seen the video?
Yeah, no, please don't.
Yeah, he's seen it. Imagine if I just played it right now.
Yeah, he's like
Overlaid it on
show the tape.
roll the tape, Jimmy.
Oh, so I know you mentioned that you can get the bang out of your buck with JRPGs, and we've had some news on this day, year of our Lord.
Yeah, dude, I set you up like forever ago.
You did, but it was a good topic. May 28th, year of our Lord 2025. Yuri Lowenthal, the best known for the voice of Yosuke Hanamura.
He's definitely not Peter Parker. He's definitely Yosuke.
Yosuke Hanamura of Persona 4 Golden for the PlayStation Vita. He said, and for the out of nowhere. Well, maybe not out of nowhere. He goes, and for those who keep asking, no, I will not be returning as Yosuke for the Persona 4 remake. I asked, maybe even I begged, but they don't want me to come back. First off, I love Yuri, so peace and love when I say this. Who asks? Like, why are you straight up spilling the beans when they've done such a good job, in my opinion, just holding this down and not having any leaks?
I bet that Golden, that P4G cast is getting bombarded with questions from nerds.
And it's convention season too, which if they're going to them, even worse.
They'd be like, "Oh, Laura Bailey, can you sign my Rise poster?" And then they'll be like, "Are you in the thing?" And she's like, "Please, Wabba, please. I have please stop talking to me. I have a restraining order. You need to be 500 feet away."
So when I did get to meet Nolan North and Troy Baker, we went and said, "I'm like, hey, love your stuff. Oh, by the way, Troy, I loved you as Gotcha Persona 4."
What
he goes, "That one, that?" He goes, "Really? Thanks."
He was probably like, "You're the only one." He's like, "I've done all these parts, and you're the only one bringing up Persona 4." Are you?
And it was literally for Uncharted 4. Like that was what they were promoting.
Of course it was. And you were like, "Dude, I loved you in that Vita game." And you know what? Maybe that made his day.
I'm sure it's. I mean, I could have got to Nolan North like, "Hey, I loved you in the second Star Trek movie," because he has one small cameo in it.
You should have said
he's like Nolan a guy on a ship.
I loved you. I loved your impression of Peter Dinklage in Destiny. I loved you as the original Ghost in Destiny. Can you say there's a wizard from the moon?
Dude, it's what? But so this confirms two things. One, Persona 4 remake is happening, I think, to the surprise of no one.
Nope.
I know nothing's been announced. But two, that they're going to be going the Persona 3 route and just yeeting the original cast. I'm not going to get into one of the reasons, but the main reason is I think Persona 4 Golden. So Persona 4 for the PlayStation 2 already replaced names. Oh god, I need to remember her name. Chie
Yes,
was new.
it was Erin.
Erin Fitzgerald.
Yeah,
Erin Fitzgerald. I should know. I think she's fantastic.
Is the P4G one.
Exactly.
And
so she already replaced Chie.
whoever. Yeah.
And again, I don't know why, but now for this one, the reason why is because when these folks I'm saying early Atlas, Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, like Yuri Lowenthal, again, Erin Fitzgerald, like she's in a lot of. They're all in these localized Japanese games and just anime. Like Troy Baker was the if you don't know, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. He's the voice of Greed. Like they all did these projects and then they blew up, like popularity wise. You cannot afford these folks, and I don't think they need to. You can just work with newer voice actors who have time to promote, who might have their own small following, so you can get new people in the game. And I hate to say it because again, I love these characters. It makes sense. Not to mention, Kanji was voiced by somebody different in the fighting game, and Rise, my favorite, was voiced not by Laura Bailey in the dancing game. I know that sentence sounds very weird to the uninitiated.
To anyone
just know that
doesn't like Persona.
Just know that I acknowledge this, and I'm trying to do better as a person. That being said, this is not the first time they've done this. It is not a knock, in my opinion, to the person. It is not that they can't afford them. It just is what they do. And frankly, I think when it comes to something like a 80 to 100 hour localized game, you need people who can just put in the time, and these folks have moved on to big projects.
Right. I mean, Laura Bailey herself is doing all this stuff with Critical Role, right? Like she's not going to be able to knock out. I don't even.
Well, Matt Mercer is the voice of Kanji in the Ultimax.
Is he?
Another, yeah.
Wow.
See what I mean? Like, are you gonna get Matt Mercer back? Like,
right.
you can't even get the backup.
Right. My guy was Ganondorf. You think he's gonna be Kanji? I don't think so. But you're right. And also, like, how much time does it take to make a, let's say, 100-hour game? How many voice lines are you going through? How long does that take? These guys presumably do not have the time.
Yeah.
To be able to voice act a full 80 to 100-hour game with all these other side projects they have going on.
And two, even in Persona 5, like, I know it was like came out during like COVID times, but like, they don't do conventions anymore. Like they did, and I think they're now like moving on to bigger roles. Like, like if you just go and like look at the cast, they're doing stuff. Like, and I think that Atlas and specifically Persona games are like a really good, like, not that the people who voice the characters aren't established, they are. But I think this just puts them in a whole different like tier. Like this type of project is like career defining, and like people are always gonna, at least me, are always gonna remember them for their role in this because these characters, the writing is so strong, it just connects with people. Every character in this is somebody's favorite, even the bad guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, Troy Baker was, Batman and Indiana Jones and all these things, and you said, "Hey, I love you as Kanji." In this Vita game.
Separately, not together.
Right, independently.
So that's your we Wednesday rant of the day. Folks, we are almost at time. Any final thoughts for the folks out there?
No, I got nothing. I'll let you talk about your Weeb game.
I did. I mean, we made it on time too. So shout out.
Was on time, and the podcast finished on time. You love to see it.
Carolina is playing like the Florida Panthers, and the Florida Panthers are playing like the Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh,
that's cool too.
The ice is tilting, lads. If you have a couple hours, go see Thunderbolts. I think you'll really enjoy it.
And go take your kid to Lilo and Stitch, but just know it's really sad.
Yeah. And go support Chili's. I don't want them to go anywhere. My favorite Mexican restaurant just closed this weekend. We were
Chili's
at it. I found out it was the last. We found it was the last day they're staying
when
open.
you eat it, it eats out your insides.
I know, it's great.
You know what? I'm working on a theory here that Wabba actually has stock in Pepto-Bismol, and that's why he keeps sending people to Chili's.
And like he's the pickiest eater out of all. So what do you eat at Chili's? Just like plain chicken with nothing?
So what I do is I split the 3 for me appetizer with my daughter. So we get the 3 choices. We get 2 cheeseburger sliders for her. I get 2 hamburger plain sliders for me. And then I get the 3 chicken fingers and I dip them in buffalo sauce.
Wabba slides the waitress a 20 and a small baggie full of dino nuggets, and he says, "Can you go heat these up, please?"
I give her
Do
40
not
bucks and
judge
say,
me."
let me know when this runs out. Keep the nuggies coming.
Yeah, give me your finest dino nuggets.
Oh, so you see me coming. It's a bad
We
day.
feel
to be a
God
nugget.
in
All
these
right.
chilies tonight.
Folks, if you had fun, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/3dads and a console. Also, check us out on 3dadsconsole.com. We got new articles coming out every now and then. And yeah, if you want to go to our YouTube, you can see Pez stream a little more because he's going to be co-streaming sometimes. You know, the Return of the King.
Yep, ooh, someone's king, but not me.
All right, folks, thank you very much. Enjoy your day. And yeah, bye, Felicia. We'll miss
Bye.
you.